Hello and welcome to my ad hoc classroom. My name's Scott Vandenberg, but you can call me Mr. V. We've heard a lot of schools talking about a potential of a hybrid classroom. And that really is having some students at home and some students in the classroom and trying to find a way to make that work. What most people have focused so far is on the video side, which doesn't necessarily make all that much sense. Think of a time where maybe recently you've been on a video call with somebody and they forgot to unmute themselves. You're really not going to get much out of that conversation. Even in the inverse situation where their video's not working, but you can hear them, again, at least you're taking that in. And that's why it's really important to focus on the audio side, probably the most important. That's where the Juno comes in. Me and my colleagues want to give you a little bit of a demonstration of the Juno. Welcome, Laura and Melina.
Hi, Mr. V.
Hey, Mr. V.
Hey, guys. So the first thing I want to point out is that I'm hearing Laura and Melina through this Juno tower right here. So think of that in the context of this hybrid classroom we were just talking about. The fact that a student at home can ask a question and everybody here within the classroom with me is going to be able to hear it clearly, as well as the students at home, ensures that everybody is engaged and involved in the classroom. Speaking of questions, Laura, what is the square root of 9?
3.
Laura, that's correct. Very good job. Thank you. Another thing I want to point out is, as you saw, I walked up here to the board. My volume and intelligibility should not have changed for you at all, whether you're at home or here in the classroom. And that's thanks to our 3rd generation IR microphone. It allows me to not be tethered to the Juno or my computer.
Mr. V, what does IR mean?
IR, that's an excellent question, Melina. IR stands for infrared. It's the technology that we use to connect our microphone to the Juno. There's a lot of good reasons that we focus on IR technology, the primary one being sound quality and intelligibility versus some other communication protocols. There's actually a few advantages in our current pandemic context as well. The first and best one probably is just the fact that it can be paired with any Juno. And what I mean by that is I could walk into another room and it will instantly pair with the Juno that's in that classroom. We've probably all heard about situations where maybe all the students are going to stay in one classroom and teachers are going to move from room to room. This means that teachers do not have to share mics, and it means that they don't have to pair their microphone every single time they go into a new classroom. So it'll just keep things moving a lot more quicker, and you're not going to lose that instructional time. On top of that, you are avoiding cross-frequency issues that you might have with other communication technologies if you have them all working in the school at the same time. And lastly, privacy concerns. If I walk out of this classroom right now to talk to the principal about Melina's behavior and I forget to turn my microphone off, it won't matter because I'm no longer in the classroom. That's not true of many other technologies. So you run the risk of having a very private conversation broadcast to the entire classroom.
Mr. V, this all sounds a little complicated. I bet you this is a lot of work to set up.
Actually, Laura, it's really, really easy. Right now, I only have one USB cable plugged into my computer. Basically, the Juno is acting as the audio in and the audio out for my computer. The reason that's so great is it just becomes like an agnostic audio source. That means that whether you're using Google Meet or Zoom or Teams or our lesson capture software, you're easily going to be able to catch the audio in and out for the sake of anybody who may need to hear it.
Now, Mr. V, just a question. Shouldn't you be wearing a mask?
Melina, you're probably right. And we know that's probably going to happen in a number of different school situations and classrooms. Fortunately, there's no one here in the room with me right now, but for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to put this mask on. As I was mentioning, there's a very real possibility that teachers will be wearing PPE when they return to the classroom. Beyond that, you're also going to be practicing social distancing. Whether that means spreading students out in the classroom or repurposing other rooms, it's going to be even harder for students to hear the teacher. Again, even though students in the classroom are very clearly going to be able to hear their teacher through the FrontRow Juno.
Well, I just want things to go back to normal. What are we going to do with that Juno when things actually go back to normal and we're back in class?
You know, Laura, I think we all probably feel the same way right now. I have to be honest, I'm not loving wearing this mask right now. But at the end of the day, Juno is an excellent solution for any classroom, regardless of whether we're in a pandemic or not. It actually has a lot more evidence and studies behind it than lots of classroom technology you're going to see. It's been proven to increase student engagement, to increase literacy scores, and even decrease teacher sick days. At the end of the day, a classroom is a noisy place, and sound field technologies like the FrontRow Juno can help ensure that even students in the back row can clearly hear their teacher speaking.
Well, there goes my excuse not to get my homework done.
That's right, Milena. I'll be watching you extra closely. That's all the time we have for today. Of course, I want to encourage you to reach out to your front row contacts if you want any more information at all. We're more than happy to walk through this with you, maybe even set up a video call so you can hear it personally in action.
Thanks everybody for joining.
Thanks. Stay safe.
Thanks, everybody. Have a nice day.